Hello sinners, this is iMoses of 7sins.com here with a review of Titanfall on the Xbox 360. The game released last Tuesday, April 8th, 2014, after it was delayed an additional 2 weeks by Respawn after they had some performance concerns with the game. The original goal for the 360 version was to be a direct translation from the Xbox One, and you will see that their game has no lack of features from the Xbox One version on the 360 version. Titanfall itself is your standard first-person shooter game with the same basic controls and gameplay that you would come to expect with a first-person shooter. One difference with the game is that it's multiplayer only, and there is no single-player campaign as of right now. The multiplayer campaign is basically the online matchmaking system with some commentary over the top, which makes, it fills you in on the plot, but at the same time it's not very unique. The matchmaking system itself is 6-on-6 with a ranking system similar to that of Call of Duty, meaning there are levels with a prestige. The weapon system of the game is also similar to that of Call of Duty, where you unlock the weapons with rank, but attachments are via challenges. This is identical to the system used on Modern Warfare 2 several years ago. So one critique that a lot of people have about this game, and you can tell, is the grunts and deceptors, the non-playable characters. Basically, there are a lot of bots online once you're playing attrition or any other game mode, and they contribute to the score depending on which game mode you are playing, but they do contribute to the score, and people claim that this makes the game too easy. I have a different view upon that. They just implemented a new matchmaking system which has a undefined skill where you are paired up with players that have similar playstyles and similar skills, and it makes the game much more challenging. There's no easy games. You don't play a game that you absolutely destroy people that have never played before. It doesn't happen anymore, at least on the Xbox One version, and since the game is identical, the 360 version will be coming up to speed very soon. Respawn is constantly updating and improving the game. They've already had several weapon balances and Titan balances, so they're trying to make the game as fair as possible for all players, and in my opinion they're doing a fantastic job with that. So let's go on to the actual 360 version and get specific here. The game runs very, very smoothly. There is not a lot of screen tearing, there's not a real loss of detail. We're 9 years into the 360 cycle. The game developers are really utilizing all that 360 has to offer. Unfortunately, it's not as good as the Xbox One. The Xbox One does have much more clarity in the picture, and the smoothness and frame rate drops are not as drastic on the Xbox One compared to the 360. But that's just what you expect from a lack of horsepower. There is minor screen tearing visible on the 360, especially when you have 4 or 5 Titans all in one small area. You'll notice that there's a lot of screen tearing, which is unfortunate. They do have an option you can set for 30 Hz where the game will quote-unquote run better. In my opinion, it doesn't make the game feel better because of the lack of smoothness at that point. It's not ideal in my opinion. So I just turn it off and let the game run and suck it up when there's a lot of action going on. The parkour aspect of the game is fundamentally completely different from any first-person shooter. There is no other game like this. The parkour really is effective at traveling these large maps very, very quickly as you just go over buildings instead of around them. And it also helps you strategize better and attack Titans, as most players aren't going to be looking on top of buildings constantly for other pilots, and that really makes the game special in my opinion. So once you play for maybe a couple minutes, you'll end up getting your Titan, and the Titan is really just an extension of the pilot. Respawn claims that is how they designed it, and they nailed it spot on. Aiming, just moving around in your Titan, it feels as if you are the Titan, which is outstanding. One gripe I do have about the game on the 360, I'm sorry, on the Xbox One, is the controller. The controller doesn't mean like it's meant for a first-person shooter. The 360 controller feels a little more natural in my hands, probably because I've played for many more years. And that's a huge concern of mine on the Xbox One, because I do love trigger feedback and the vibration, but it makes the game kind of hard to play. So, as you can probably tell, I'm doing pretty well compared to everyone else in the game at this point. And I feel like the 360 controller just feels more natural, and I'm able to be more precise in my shots and just control the game better. Yeah, as far as that goes, I'm going to pull up a graphic comparison in just a moment of the Xbox 360 compared to the Xbox One. You'll notice that the Xbox One graphically looks much better. I do have a couple options enabled on the Xbox One, such as deeper color spectrum, I suppose. I think it's 32 color bit instead of 24. It really makes the game pop out much more. The blacks are much deeper and the colors are more vibrant. So I will give the Xbox One hands down better graphics, but the game is running at a funky resolution of 792p, and the Xbox 360 only runs at 720p. So on the PC, you win. The graphics are hands down much better than the 360 or the One, but the game is still a lot of fun on the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and I will shut up and get out of your hair so that you can enjoy the comparison video of the Xbox 360 versus the Xbox One.
Call it when ready. Transferring to pilot. Rock and roll. Transferring control to pilot. That trick. Thanks. Alright, we got what we came. On the work, well done, guys. Guys here are attempting to escape by dropping. They marked their production. Still support gateway. Threat level high. Auto type engaging enemy fire. The IMC will be heading towards the evac point. Don't let them escape. Warning. Threats attacking.
If you like this video, go ahead and like this video. If you dislike this video, go ahead and dislike this video. Leave a comment, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and be sure to check out 7sins.com.